It's Saturday, July 7th. I'm in Winthrop, Washington. I was just about to head out of town west into the mountains when I discovered this screw in my passenger side front tire. Tire that's already in very bad shape. It is in fact losing air. My tire pressure monitoring system is showing that it's a little bit lower than all the rest. So before I head into the mountains, I really think I need to get this dealt with, even though I'm going to replace these tires in like a week. Better safe than sorry.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a great day.
You bet, you too. I was on my way to the tire shop in Twisp, Washington when I got distracted by the hot air balloon. So far this morning, I saw a deer, a majestic hot air balloon, I got a delicious coffee, I found water, drinking water, so I refilled my Helio and my Roto packs. The sun is out. It's a beautiful day. I have a nail in my tire. That's okay. Les Schwab in Twisp. I hope Les himself is here. I want to jam with him about some new tires. Alright, my tire damage is fixed. $18 for a little bit of peace of mind until I can get these tires replaced. I'm at the Zama store, which is about 15 minutes west of Winthrop, Washington. It's very clearly a hub for outdoor adventurers and PCT thru hikers, which passes not far from here. This is amazing. I haven't even scratched the surface of the mountains yet. I'm near the summit of Slate Peak, which is just beyond Hart's Pass. You can't drive any further because it's gated, but it's only a short hike to the top, so after the sandwich, I think I'm going to check it out. Slate Peak Lookout, elevation 7488. Tonight's campsite isn't really a proper campsite. It's the parking lot for the Brown Bear Trailhead of the Pacific Crest Trail near Hart's Pass. I mentioned in a previous episode that my journey was largely inspired by thru hikers, particularly on the Appalachian Trail. In fact, before I set off on my own adventure, I was considering thru hiking myself. So I enjoy surrounding myself with other thru hikers. I like meeting thru hikers. I'm inspired by them. That's why I'm here. In case anyone passes through, I can share a beer. I don't have any Cheez-Its. I have tortilla chips. I have M&Ms. I can share M&Ms. I might not encounter any hikers, and that's perfectly fine, because tomorrow I'm going to pack a bag and I'm going to set off on the PCT for a day hike of my own. Terrain and geography is really dramatic around here, and I think this is one of those situations where you have to park the Jeep and set off on foot. The trail passes underneath the base of this cliff right in the center of your screen. I just saw someone walk by in the distance. It looks amazing. I have to double up sleeping bags again. Just the other night, I was sleeping in my underwear outside my sleeping bag. And here, at 7,000 feet, I don't know, feels like 50 degrees. Probably go down another 10 through the night. Honestly, I love this temperature for sleeping. 50 degrees, 40 degrees, snuggled up in a couple sleeping bags, but you don't get totally cold if your head's sticking out. I'm probably going to watch a movie on my iPad and then go to sleep. I'm looking forward to the hike tomorrow. I think there's going to be more epic scenery. Alright, movie time. This is mind-blowing. This is just more beautiful than you can imagine. I hiked 3 miles in, and I'm at the summit of Tatey Peak along the Pacific Crest Trail at approximately 7,400 feet. This is extraordinary. This really has a way of putting things into perspective. The world is so vast and beautiful and wild. It makes our day-to-day problems seem very trivial. Our frustrations very small, that bill that's due or past due, insignificant in the grand scheme of things. I'm on my way back because I'm hungry. I'm in dire need of a sandwich. If I slipped and fell, it'd be fun for like 100 feet. And then not so much. It's Sunday night. I concluded my hike earlier this afternoon, went back to camp, made lunch, and then the mosquitoes came out. So after just lingering around camp for a few hours, I hiked back up into the mountains just to escape the mosquitoes. I did in fact run into a lot of hikers today along the PCT. Everyone is so friendly. You stop, say hi, how you doing, where are you going? You exchange stories, and that's just what these trails are like. The Appalachian Trail, the Continental Divide Trail, Pacific Crest Trail. That's what I dig about this. The Jeep's over there somewhere, in the tree line on the other side of that meadow. Doesn't feel very stable. It's Sunday night, and as you could probably tell, I had a phenomenal time exploring this section of the Pacific Crest Trail. Tomorrow morning, I think I'm going to head west toward Diablo Lake. It's in North Cascades National Park, and I want to put the kayak in. I think it's going to be extremely beautiful. I don't know where I'm going to stay tomorrow night, though. A special shout out to Sean and Matthew from Gig Harbor, whom I met at Northwest Overland Rally. They recommended Hart's Pass, this place that I'm currently at. Coincidentally, Hart's Pass got mentioned to me probably half a dozen times after that. It's a good recommendation. This place is beautiful. This is the Diablo Lake overlook in North Cascades National Park, and we are here. With any luck, I'm going to put my kayak in that aquamarine water. It's not even aquamarine, it's more like emerald. It's beautiful. I'm on the shore of Diablo Lake in North Cascades National Park, in the parking lot of North Cascades Environmental Learning Center. First, I'm making some lunch, and on this side of me, there's a great place to put the kayak in the water. I am enhancing my soup with hot dogs that I don't have buns for. According to my GPS, this spot is called Hidden Cove, and from what I can tell, it's a primitive campsite that's only accessible by water. Let's look around. It's not that I have any desire to be cold, it's just that this needs to happen. Oh God, that's cold. The conditions got really windy, so I'm going to put my camera and my electronics away in my dry bag and start working my way back to the Jeep. I'll be paddling against the wind, so probably going to get hit by a lot of spray. Back at the Jeep, all loaded up and ready to go. By the time I got the kayak all loaded up, it was 5 p.m. and I still had no idea where I was going to spend the night. I got really lucky and just probably 5 miles to the west, found this free campground with one site available. This is like the third night in a row that I brought my camera to bed with me. Maybe it'll become a thing. I don't know. But today was amazing. The kayaking, the wind on my way back to the Jeep kicked my butt. That was extremely difficult, and putting my electronics away was a good call because I got extremely wet. This campsite's cool. I think I'll spend another day or two here. Do some work on my computer. I'll show you around a little bit more tomorrow. But it's already been a great time, and I'm right next to some nice moving water, so I'm going to sleep soundly tonight. My intention was to stay at Gorge Lake Campground for one more night, but honestly, I'm feeling a little bit restless. I did work today on my computer, I'm low on food. I don't know. I think I just need to hit the road. It's 4 p.m. I really have no idea whether or not leaving that campground was a good call. Hoping I find something else, something that inspires me a little bit more. Or a grocery store where I can get, snacks and stuff. I'm in Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest, and it's stunning right off the bat. I just crossed this bridge over here. Blown away. I have been wanting to be in a forest like this for all my life. Ewoks, man. Look at the size of this tree. Oh my God. This is awesome. I have no regrets about leaving that campground today. It was a very nice campground, but I wasn't comfortable. I was restless. I wasn't inspired. Despite its beauty, it was very beautiful. But I had the notion to seek out this hot spring, and it's been phenomenal. No one else is here for now, so I'll probably just pop the camper down in that parking lot. I turned on the light for better lighting, but I just wrapped up my experience at the hot spring, and I got back to the parking lot, and there was a young couple there who had set up a dome tent. So, to be respectful, instead of popping the camper in the parking lot, I am going to head into the mountains and find a nice quiet campsite of my own. Give them their privacy. Well, the good news is I have an amazing view. The bad news is there's tons of mosquitoes. I'm going to be pretty much confined to this space. I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow. That is Mount Baker. It's Wednesday night. I'm near Index, Washington, and my goal was to find a free campsite that's kind of close to, well, Linwood, Washington, because I have an appointment to get new tires there tomorrow. But the campsite that I found was very popular with rock climbers. It was a parking lot that was basically full of van dwellers. As much as I don't mind socialization, that was really close accommodations. I did find a campsite not far from Index, Washington by a washed out section of road. There's some forest land around here, and I just pulled off into a spur, and there's a little clearing with a fire ring. It's a little bit higher on the stabby index than I'd prefer, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna chance it. Under this tarp appears to be most of someone's worldly possessions. Looks like someone maybe came along, cleaned up the campsite, and put all their possessions underneath this tarp. I'm gonna go with that theory and just kind of ignore this like it's not here. There's a Swiffer sweeper leaning against this tree, clearly to keep the campsite clean. Inside the fire circle, there's someone's crushed energy-enhancing beverage. To all of my Patreon subscribers who have access to my navigational data, I've been giving this some thought, and I think I'm going to reorganize the folder structure in Dropbox. Right now, I have it separated into chapters. The first chapter from last year, the chapter from this past winter, and then this current chapter, which I'm about to wrap up. I'm going to remove the chapters and combine the data into individual files. So you have all of the camp data for all three chapters in one file, all the four-wheel drive tracks in one file, so it's going to be a lot easier for you to sort through. If you're interested in seeing where I've been and you'd like to visit some of these places for yourself, I invite you to subscribe to the Venture 4WD channel on Patreon. I record all of my movement on the GPS, waypoints for campsites, Taco Bells, coffee shops, track logs for four-wheel drive trails, you name it. Then I upload the GPX file to Dropbox and make those files available to my Patreon subscribers. It's Thursday afternoon, and I'm at the tire shop in Linwood, Washington, taking one last look at my tires before I get them swapped out. The rears wore evenly. Honestly, I haven't rotated them in thousands of miles, and you can see where that's problematic here. Oh my gosh, there's another nail. I didn't even see that until now. I'm gonna have them swap out my undersized spare tire with one of the good rear tires that's the proper size, and that means the Blue Ridge Overland gear bag is gonna have to come off, just temporarily. Easy come, easy go. I got a lot of adventure out of the last set. Northeast, southwest, mountains, desert, snow, mud. So I'm totally happy with this tire. I got maybe 30 to 40,000 miles. I wrote down when I had them installed, but I just can't find it. I think I had them installed around 70,000 miles, and I'm now at 103,000 miles. It's Thursday night, and that's a wrap for this week. It was an extraordinary week. I got new tires, and with those new tires, I'm going to start a new chapter entitled Toward New Horizons, as I'll be covering a lot of new ground. MVP this week goes to Lake Stevens Brewing Company, which is a small brewery I discovered in Lake Stevens, Washington. It was fantastic. I walked in, everyone was super friendly, and the beer was delicious. It was a phenomenal way to wrap up the week. As always, thank you guys for following along, and I'll catch up with you next week.